I grew up literally in sight of the fish farm on the beach over there. I'm basically getting to work in my backyard.
I've worked in aquaculture for about 18 years. My dad was a farm manager before that, so I've been coming out to these farms, this farm in particular, Hope Island, since I was a young kid. This place is meant for growing.
These fish have plenty of room. These fish are healthy. We take a lot of pride. We've got a lot of technology sitting out here to make sure that we're doing everything we can do to have as little impact as possible. These guys work night and day. They sleep here, for the love of God. They're sleeping here.
We've been smeared for as long as I can remember. We work here. We know it's not true. I don't understand how such a healthy, sustainable product could be looked at in such a terrible way.
The announcement of our leases being denied came as quite a surprise.
Started off just a regular Monday morning. I got a call, DNR is not renewing our permits. I need to tell my guys. By the time I tell them, it's already on the internet.
We heard it from the media.
A Seattle Times article.
That's when we realized that she'd pulled the carpet out from under our feet.
And we've been doing this for 40 years at this spot, showing no impact.
All the things that we've done in the last 5 years to comply with their requests, we've gone above and beyond that. We get a lot of attaboys and good job and way to go. And to have that be all for naught, it hurts.
A lot of people think that this is some giant feedlot, but really, you know, we pick our pen up with all the fish in it. At max capacity, it takes up about 2% of the pen. We test it 50 feet from the site to 100 feet off the site, and we've shown no impact. We do this at top biomass. We have the state come out, bring their own vets, inspect our fish. There's no sea lice out here.
We have to be good stewards of the environment because we raise our fish in the environment itself.
I'm the one that goes through the fish and checks them for any form of sickness or disease, monitor the water conditions for dissolved oxygen levels.
Do anchor inspections. We have to make sure the farm's secured.
We swim a pattern in the cage to monitor the amount of growth on the nets weekly.
Something you take pride in. I mean, you want to raise a good product, you want to keep the environment safe.
We have no impact on the ocean. The fish farms are basically a floating reef.
It's not a dead zone like it's being perceived as. I mean, it's alive.
I've dove underneath these systems that we're on right now, and there's so much life under these systems. You swim out 100 yards and it is a desert.
We're adding nutrients to the water.
A lot of bait fish hide in here for protection.
Crabbing around the site is really, really good. Multiple different species of birds use the site, seals and sea lions.
We actually add life to Puget Sound.
Once this is gone, they're going to realize how much other stuff's gone with it.
We can produce food sustainably with the least amount of environmental impact and at some of the most efficient cost out of all forms of farming animals or plants. We monitor our feed very carefully.
This right here is a 3.5 kilo fish. This is what they'll eat in their whole lifetime, all the way from the hatchery to harvest. That's what sustainability looks like. We're held to this crazy high standard as it is. We can't afford to do nothing but the very best. We contribute to our communities with jobs, with food, with security.
It's something I can feed my whole family that I don't have to break the bank for. A lot of people can eat this and afford it, and it's good for them.
Farming is the future. The population is growing on the planet, and we need to provide more food sources for them.
We cannot be stripping our oceans. We have to do aquaculture.
We've seen COVID where supply chains start shutting down. What if we can't get food from another country? 90+% of the seafood that we eat comes from another country.
We should be sourcing this locally for our own economic benefit.
Everybody's like, oh, you gotta buy US made or buy this, or you know what I mean, locally grown or locally sourced, and you're taking that away. And what sense does that make, right? So you're asking for more to come over on a ship that God only knows when it was caught, harvested.
Anywhere in the world where you should raise a salmon or a trout, it's here in the Puget Sound. We transitioned to the state fish, steelhead trout, rainbow trout. The same fish that they release in lakes, that they release in the river, the exact same fish from the same hatchery that we get our eggs from.
Before I started working here, I had the same perception that a lot of people have, that it's bad. But then you come here and you see how much pride and love goes into this.
Oh no, Hillary Franz has never been out on this farm. I don't think she's ever been on any fish farm once in her entire life.
I would love for her to take a tour because it's a very clean, sanitary place.
I believe she doesn't want to see the truth of the science.
They ignored over 150 studies done by multiple state organizations to prove we have no adverse impacts on the environment.
It's hard. It's hard because you put a lot of yourself into this job.
The farm has been my livelihood for 37 years. I feel at home there. All the people that I work with are my best friends.
30 years I've been doing this. It's all I know.
I'm not going to be driving this way to work after I've been doing it since I was 19 years old.
I just want to thank the fish farming industry that I've had able to support my family.
Put food on a lot of tables.
So that's it. I'm good. Thank you.